Good morning, I'm Gerhard Mathangani with today's Sports Brief. National Signing Day has come and gone, and Alabama is once again the talk of the nation. The Tide signed the #1 class in the country for the 7th time in 11 years. Alabama inked 27 players overall, including 7 five-star prospects. The rest of the top 10 includes Ohio State, Georgia, LSU, Clemson, Oregon with a solid class at number 6, Texas A&M, USC, Notre Dame, and Michigan rounding out the top 10. What's possibly even more impressive is where Alabama got its talent from. 11 different states represented, including 5 from Alabama, 6 from Florida, and 7 from Texas. Obviously, recruiting season has been very different as teams navigated around the pandemic, but head coach Nick Saban is proud of his team's efforts.
It's accumulation of a lot of hard work by a lot of people in a very different circumstance, but I think what everybody did is they adapted extremely well to the circumstance that we were in. We turned in what would have been official visits and camps and all those things into virtual reality, so to speak, in terms of how we managed, how we developed relationships, the time we spent with the players that we recruited and the relationships that we were able to develop. Our academic staff here at the university, the strength and conditioning, the medical staff, everybody did what they would do on a normal visit. They did it virtually, and I think that process really helped us. That adaptation, really helped us develop relationships with players so that we could, have the kind of recruiting class that we had.
One final note on Alabama. The Tide also made a little bit of history yesterday. According to 24/7 Sports Composite, as well as other recruiting sites, Alabama's class is #1 in history. The Tide beat out the 2010 Florida class. Meanwhile, Nick Saban has also been a staple in the top 8. 5 different classes made the cut. Meanwhile, Auburn added 6 signees to their class. The Tigers coaching staff, of course, working a little bit behind the 8 ball with a late start to recruiting in the SEC. Safety Juwan Gaston out of Carver, Montgomery, highlighted the 6 signees yesterday. These 6 will join the 10 that signed in December. Head coach Brian Harsin is pleased with what they've done in a short period of time.
In our process, some things that were important to us. Fit, #1. All right, talking to these guys and their families and with our coaches, fit was a major factor. We sat down and decided, all right, what is it that we're looking for in this next group of signees that we're going to bring in? Well, fit. And the culture, that's all part of it. Do these guys love football? High character guys, competitive guys, guys that want to come in here and work hard, guys that are winners. And so during the process here, we had those conversations to answer those questions and to figure those things out, and all these guys fit the bill.
Meanwhile, the Jacksonville State coaching staff is pulling double duty. The Gamecocks are in the middle of spring practice as they get ready for a season in a couple of weeks, but they're also doing what they can on the recruiting trail to land another impressive class. JSU signed 6 players yesterday that joined the 7 in the early signing period.
You lost all the things in the, as I've said before, in the spring and the summer of, going and watching them practice spring football and going to spring games and watching them in camp and getting them here on campus and getting to test them. We just lost all that, and it was hard not to get to watch anybody in the fall play in person. So it just made it very difficult, I think, evaluation and relationship-wise. But you had to make up for that of how you communicated with, like I said, the FaceTimes and the Zoom calls and things like that. So even though it was bizarre, I think we ended up with a really good class. I'm excited about the guys we signed in December, and I'm excited about the ones that we filled a class up with, today.
And that wraps up your Sports Brief. Our program continues next.